Hello, welcome to Joy News today. I am Emefa Akosia Adati. The bulletin is live from our studios here in Kokomlemle, Accra. It's also live on DSTV channel 421 and GoTV channel 125. In our top stories this hour, Conference of Heads of Assisted Secondary Schools demand immediate release of funds, warns of possible school reopening delay.
Able to take care of these students in terms of feeding and even running the school generally, because schools now, we have credited all kinds of things. It will be extremely difficult, if not impossible, to run the schools beyond where we have reached.
Also this afternoon, NDC intercepts 24,000 bags of fertilizer allegedly diverted in the eastern region.
Just lock up and wait until the transition is done. Then the next government will go into records and find out what that fertilizer is meant for and where it's supposed to go. Then we can now leave it or let it go.
And later in the bulletin, the NDC accuses the Electoral Commission of lawlessness and bias in election procedure. We've got these plus business, sports and world news in this bulletin. Do stay for details. Many thanks for choosing us. In Koforidua Eastern Region, a team of NDC executives from the New Job in North constituency has intercepted 24,000 bags of NPK 21 fertilizer, allegedly diverted from its intended beneficiaries. Acting on a tip-off, the team uncovered the fertilizers being offloaded into an abandoned church building. The interception sparked a heated confrontation between the NDC official and EV Logistics, the transporters of the goods, who stand accused of diverting the products for private gain. According to the NDC parliamentary candidate for New Job in North, Samuel Adongo, 3 Ministry of Food and Agriculture officers fled the scene in a ministry-branded vehicle when questioned by the police. Now, police investigations are underway, but the NDC insists the fertilizers will remain under strict security until further notice. Meanwhile, EV Logistics has declined a comment on the matter.
There are about 24 trucks loaded with unidentified items parked along the street of highways just opposite the Ministry of Food and Agriculture. So we decided to follow up and monitor and see whatever that is going on. So before daybreak, they started offloading some of the trucks. So we waited for them to for daybreak. Then we came around to see what is actually going on. But when we approached them, according to one of them, they told me that actually the items belong to a private businessman who is trying to get a safer place to keep his items, and it's not for government. So in fact, we were not okay with that information, so we had to follow up. So it was later that I pushed and I was able to get one of the waybills. And on the waybill, it has been indicated that there are fertilizers, NPK fertilizer 50 kg, and it's from Ministry of Food and Agriculture headquarters to Eastern Region. So I started questioning them. This is from Ministry of Food and Agriculture to Eastern Region. Means it is for government. So if it belongs to government, why don't you get a government warehouse and offload all these items? But I rather choose to go to an abandoned church and offload this number of fertilizers into a church instead of a government institution. So I asked them, I would like to know the Ministry of Food and Agriculture officer who is receiving the items. So there was one of their pickups parked there with some officers in there. So when I was approaching the pickup just drove off. So I have to come back to them again, and we have to call the police officers to come in. So I called the divisional, there was the municipal commander, and I also called the regional commander to also get them informed about what we have noticed here. So the regional commander also confirmed that he has had such information. So he also sent his men down here for them to come and observe whatever that is going on here. So now we are on them, and we are monitoring them to offload all the items, that are the fertilizers, into that building. And with the supervision of the police and our personal security, then we'll monitor everything. After that, we'll take stock and take records of everything. Then we'll get the place locked up and wait until the transition is done. Then the next government will go into records and find out what that fertilizer is meant for and where it's supposed to go. Then we can now leave it or let it go.
Now, the National Democratic Congress, NDC, has strongly criticized the Electoral Commission, describing its current actions as lawless. The party claims the EC is operating without proper coordination with officials working independently of one another. The NDC also accuses the Deputy Electoral Officer of bias, alleging that the officer is acting in ways that undermine the integrity of the election process. Additionally, the party asserts that the EC is attempting to reverse established procedures, which claims that the constitutional instrument does not permit Deputy Returning Officer to replace the returning officer. The NDC has called for immediate corrective measures to ensure a fair and transparent election process. Dr. Rashid Tanko spoke on AM show this morning.
In participation in politics, this gentleman is openly known to be a member of the MPP, and I'm saying that evidence abounds. What kind of diligence did they even do to pick him into their district? And they brought that gentleman that morning. You saw that the returning officer of Tema Central raised some issues and says he wanted the two parties to come on board to address the issues before he could proceed. Then these commissioners, because they had a wicked agenda against NDC, brought this gentleman to do the declaration for them. That's the kind of illegality they perpetrated for Tema Central, the good people of Tema Central. And we are not going to allow it to lie low. We will make sure that we use everything legally within our mandate and within the jurisdiction of Ghana. It's not known to the law. The CI 127 doesn't recognize anybody as Deputy Returning Officer. The CI 127, Church Regulation 2, is talking about returning officer. And then they are talking of the commission may appoint assistant to assist it. They didn't say the Deputy Returning Officer. There's a difference between an assistant and a Deputy Returning Officer. The law doesn't talk of a Deputy Returning Officer. So where they have gotten it from, that's why I'm saying the Electoral Commission, in fact, is fast becoming the most lawless institution in Ghana. They just sit down there and do things that suit them.
Now, the management of the Brongahafo Cooperative Society for Development has reaffirmed its dedication to supporting traders in the Brongahafo region through financial assistance. Speaking at the organization's 50th anniversary celebration, the General Manager, Alice Kupoeje, emphasized efforts to combat unemployment and improve livelihoods in the area. Our correspondent, Anna Savitz, reports the significant milestone the future plans of the cooperative has.
It is the climax of a year-long celebrations of the 50th anniversary celebrations of the Techimam Brongahafo Cooperative Society for Development, which was established in the year 1974 under the auspices of the former Bishop of Sunyani Diocese, Most Reverend James Kojo Usu, with a vision to empower people financially as well as alleviate poverty amongst its members. Backsword, after 50 years of existence, has expanded its boundaries to 11 societies, 9 study groups and 24 agencies. Mrs. Alice Kupo is the general manager of Backsword. She was thankful to the team for their sacrifices in the successes chalked and highlighted some projections, which includes Backsword total asset of 3,150,740 Ghana cedis within the next 10 years.
Projections for the next 10 years. We've all agreed to bring the total asset from 228,548,919 Ghana cedis, 48 pesos, to a total of 3,150,740,935 Ghana cedis, 32 pesos. We deserve an applause.
Mrs. Alice Kupo further stated that Backsword, with a current staff strength of 384, wishes to increase its staff number to 625 by the year 2033, a move she says would help reduce unemployment rate in the area.
What we are saying is that you can see all the figures, they are there. We are also pleading with the board. Once the asset is growing, staff must also work. The staff strength should also increase. So we are looking at a staff strength of 625 competent staff, positive energy staff. Once the staff are on board, we promise to deliver these figures for you.
Union Board Chairman of Baksod, Maurice Yirtege Yamiogo, on his part highlighted some significant contributions of Baksod to the socio-economic development of the communities they operate, and this includes financial assistance to farmers and traders within the Brong Ahafo enclave.
It is worth mentioning that over the years, Baksod societies and study groups in the Techiman have collectively and individually contributed immensely to the economic enhancement of the communities, associations, churches, individuals, women groups, and primary groupings like yam sellers, tomato sellers, and many of them through the grant of personal loans, agricultural loans, child education loans, etc.
Special guest of honor and Trafohini of the Techiman Traditional Council, Nana Afunan Ketia, who spoke on behalf of the Omahini of the Techiman, Osiadeyo Ekunfiame of the Fourth, thanked Baksod for the support to its members and admonished them to work towards reducing its interest rates to help empower the needy within the area.
So, Chairman or Secretary of the Cooperative Department, I'm pleading that if possible, you can constitute a regulation that will bring cooperative interest rate down. So we should make a minimum profit so that we can help the church members.
The 50th anniversary celebrations of Baksod was held under the theme, Building Sustainable Catholic Cooperative Financial Institution, Baksod, your reliable financial partner for life. Anna Sabit, Joy News, Techiman.
Moving on, residents of Konongo and surrounding areas in the Asante-Achim South Municipality of the Ashanti region are facing potential water shortages as the Owerri River, a key water source, has reportedly stopped flowing. The Ghana Water Company Limited has disclosed that the river, already heavily polluted by illegal mining activities, has become significantly more turbid over the past 2 months. This has drastically reduced water pressure to the local treatment plant, threatening a decline in water supply to households across the municipality. Meanwhile, the Odan River, which supplies water to Obuasi and its environs, is also experiencing extreme turbidity levels. Dr. Hansen Mensah Akute, the Ashanti Regional Manager of the Ghana Water Company Limited, has more on this issue.
Galamsey, I don't know when I just come to stay. And for the past 2 months, it's been worsened.
Wow.
Yeah. What this means is that I think because of the way things went over the past month to this time, people probably had the courage that they can do anything without anybody sanctioning them. And I believe that has actually worsened the situation for us. Currently, one of our worst river we have at Odaso and then the Konongo. Odaso is registering around 18,000 NTU of turbidity from 8,000.
From 8,000?
From 8,000.
To what?
To 18,000.
What space are we talking about?
Within the space of 2 months.
Within the space of 2 months?
Yes.
We've moved from 8 to 18,000. Wow.
Yes.
Odaso is the one that connects to Obuasi.
Wow.
Yeah,
and then the Konongo one has also moved from 5,000 to 12,000. But the Konongo one, as I'm speaking to you now, the river is even defunct. In other words, it has stopped flowing. So what it means is that that river is no more functional. And what it means in the nearest future is that if it continues for a long while, the people of Konongo may not even have water at all because there's not even a single drop of water in the river to abstract for treatment.
News today. We go for a quick break. We'll be back with more. Please stay. Welcome back. Now, the Conference of Heads of Assisted Secondary School, CHASS, has issued an urgent appeal to the Ministry of Education for the immediate release of all outstanding funds to school across the country. In a letter dated December 20, 2024, CHASS highlighted the severe financial challenges facing educational institutions, including unpaid recurrent funds, arrears for perishable items, and lack of support for transportation and utility bills. Now, my colleague Michael Papani Ashale has been following the story and joins us in studio to give us details. What really does the statement say?
Well, so the statement starts with how dire the situation is and tells that they possibly may not be able to cater for these kids. But what exactly are the schools missing, or what are they owed? Well, let's start with, it talks about perishable items. When we talk about perishable, this mainly goes to the feeding of kids. So they're talking about the tomatoes, the other rice, you talk about onions, you talk about the okra and all of that. They need to buy some of these things on a regular basis. Usually every week or two, they have to go and buy this. So these things have been in arrears for, we are told, at least for since 2021. It goes on to talk about, they also don't have funds to cover the transportation of costs for food items. And again, funds to settle outstanding utility bills. We're talking about electricity, mainly for these schools, and some of the schools, water as well. If you talk about the extended list of things they are owed, in 2021, we are told that only senior high school 1 and 2, the second semester of 2021, nothing was paid for level 100s or Form 1, senior high school 1, and Form 2s only got half of some of the amounts. Some of them were not paid at all. In 2022, the first semester, same thing as well. Senior high school 1, 2, and 3, they did not receive monies for these categories that they mentioned. Already in an earlier interview with some of the people told us that what they get really is the perishables, and that's part payment for some of them. And what they have to do is split it among some of the urgent costs that they have incurred over the time, and then sometimes that's what they deal with it. If you come to very recent ones, in the WASI that was written in 2023, for instance, nothing was paid. The only examination fee component was paid to the transition day and boarding schools. And also, in the second semester, only the examination fee component was paid to all the schools. Finally, it tells us that for the WASI practical arrears, 50% was paid, and this is for the 2022 and 2023 academic years. Only half has been paid since 2023 and 2024. We already know that government also owes WAEC, the body responsible for the examination. So this extended list of things, since 2021, government has been owing them majority of the things that the schools have had to pre-finance and pay. We've also told us that some of these people that give them these or lend these things to them have started harassing them. Yeah. The statement ends with the fact that it's a warning, actually, that they may not be able to cater for these children when they come to school. Worst case scenario, they possibly may have to inform the parents to start thinking about how they are going to feed their own children when they come to school. Yeah.
That's serious. Thank you, Michael, for bringing clarity to that statement. But we're joined by Primus Barrow. He is the General Secretary for CHASS, and he's joining us via Zoom. Thank you for joining us. We want to get clarity. Do we have a figure or a total amount to how much the government owed so far?
So good afternoon to you and your cherished listeners. Unfortunately, we will not be able to put our hand on a figure and a specific figure. And the explanation is simple. Because in the last 3 years or so, CHASS has not been so much involved in every year. The scenario is this: every year, when the academic year before it commences, there's a committee that is set up by the ministry to fix this fee. CHASS has always been part of it over the years, but in the past 3 years or so, we've never been part of the fee fixing committee. So we are only able to tell how much goes in for each of the fee items that come to the school. You know, we have if we talk about the recurrent, apart from the feeding, we have about 14 other fee items. That's why we talk about the maintenance, the culture, sports, and the rest. So we have not been part of it, and that's why we are unable to put a figure. We can only tell you which areas the government have paid and what percentages. But we are unable to tell the figure because we don't know how much, for example, goes into culture, how much goes into sanitation, and the rest, unfortunately.
Well, thanks for that clarity. But since you released the statements, have you had any response from government yet?
Yes.
We have not had a response from government yet. A day before, I think 2 days before release of statement, we actually had a meeting with the minister. In fact, we were pleading with them to cut short the number of days that were due before the Christmas break, because already that time, the red flags were raised by our constituents. So we're pleading with them to cut them. But unfortunately, at that meeting, all assurances were given to us. And that's what we refer to in our letter. We were told that money was going to come. Our expectation was that it was going to be in good quantum. Unfortunately, when the monies were released, in fact, as we talk now, some of the schools didn't even receive that money before we went on break. So the monies came, but those that received, the indication is that it is nothing to write home about. And that explains why we are already raising the red flags about the resumption.
Well, third is just around the corner. Does it look like government will be able to come through? And if they are unable to come through, what would happen?
Well, it's clearly stated in our letter. We have been told in our face that we have no mandate, to close down any school. We agree. But we have said that the option will be to let parents know that these are the implications. You see, it is very difficult to come out of a very straitjacket statement, because you know that over the years, the situation might vary from one school to the other, because we have some schools that parents are supporting very well with the feeding. Other stakeholders like old boys are coming in. Others don't have at all. So the situation will be that we are gathering the data. If we resume, we want the public to know that if we are compelled to resume on the 3rd, and those schools that are unable to take care of their students, well, the parents, if they decide to send their kids to school, they may have to also make sure that they cater for them while they go to school. Those that will be able to manage, well, like we have always done, will manage. Those that cannot manage, there's nothing to manage anyway. So that's just the signal we are sending.
Well, Mr. Barrow, I'd let you go, but finally, in a few days, there'll be a new government, and they've said that they're going to be reviewing the free SHS policy amid all its challenges. What are some of the recommendations you've recommended to the incoming government?
Our recommendations will largely fall on all the communiques that we've been able to give over the years. But specifically, one area that we've been talking about has always been this issue of feeding. That the issue of feeding has to be looked at. We've also been recommending, this one is now communicated, that there needs to be some little element of culture. You see, when you talk about some little amount of culture, people begin to raise certain flags and make certain comments. People forget that even we, as head teachers, we are parents. My son is also in a senior high school. One is about going. We pay all manner of fees. But you see, the whole idea of this wholesale of free HHS, well, I'm yet to see it happen in any part of this world. There's always a little bit, because I always maintain that no matter how poor, for example, a parent is, he might be able, to at least to provide a shorts, a trouser, or a shirt for the child. So those are the areas. So a little bit of cost sharing. The issue about centralizing feeding, it has never worked, and it won't work. So these are the areas that we've been hammering over the years, and a whole lot of things. So we have the specifics. When the time comes, and we are always prepared. Even in the past, with the past government, we've been sharing our ideas. I remember just before the elections, we engaged both the president-elect currently and the vice president, who was then the presidential candidate. And we made all these things very, in fact, he bought into most of the ideas. And he promised that even if he had won, we have engaged on those ideas. So those are the areas. We are ready at any time. Anytime that we are contacted, we are prepared to share what we feel as implementers is the right way to go.
Many thanks for joining us, Mr. Barrow. Now, moving on, the Chakele Malu Festival, instituted 3 years ago to foster unity and address development challenges, has once again highlighted the plight of the Chakele people in the Wa East District of the Upper West region. Now, during a colorful event held in Bulenge, Paramount Chief of Bulenge Traditional Area, Na Seidu, expressed deep concern over the lack of electricity in some communities and the deplorable state of roads in the Chakele enclave. In a speech read on his behalf, he appealed to the incoming National Democratic Congress administration to address these issues, emphasizing their negative impact on economic activities and development in the area. Joy News' Upper West Regional Correspondent Rafiq Salam reports more.
The Chakele Malu or Development Festival was instituted 3 years ago with the objective of not only bringing all people of Chakele extraction together for peace, but also to deliberate on development challenges the people are facing. The colorful ceremony was attended by persons from all walks of life, including paramount, divisional, sub-chiefs, and queen mothers from their respective areas. Paramount Chief of the Bullinga Traditional Area, Nasir Nogulumo IV, in a speech read on his behalf by his secretary and commoner Yahya Sedu, emphasized on the need to be peaceful, adding that it encourages education, trade, commerce, and industry. He appealed to the people to come together for the holistic development of the Chakala community. Nasir Nogulumo IV then waded into challenges that the people are facing, ranging from inadequate medical and educational facilities, lack of potable water, and electricity.
We would be grateful if Chago Chief's compound is upgraded to a health center and Chief's compounds as well established in Dopare, whilst the Bulanga Health Center is upgraded into a polyclinic. This will serve as a referral center for the surrounding communities and will improve health delivery in the Chakali traditional area. The area of electricity. Many rural communities in the Chakali traditional area are yet to be connected to the national grid, including Motigo, Duse, Sola, Grumbele, Yayoiri, Chakopala, and Dopare, but to mention a few. This undoubtedly has negatively impacted the residents, particularly preventing them from diversifying and engaging in other lucrative ventures that would reduce the incidence of poverty. I must, however, commend the Wa East District Assembly for starting the process of connecting the Pari community to the national grid.
He also spoke of the deplorable roads in the communities and urged the government to help fix them.
The road from Bulanga to Duse and from Duse to Grumbele is nothing to write home about. Also, the road from Bulanga to Yala is unmotorable. The Bulanga-Chago road faces a similar problem. We would be happy if these roads are fixed to ensure easy commuting of farm produce to and from the regional capital, Wa, more particularly the Wa-Bulanga road.
Member of Parliament for Wa East and MP-elect Dr. Godfrey Sedu Jesao, who was represented by the Wa East Constituency Secretary of the NDC, Yakubu Jandao, noted the concerns of the Chakala chiefs, pledging the commitment of the NDC government to fixing them.
In our next 4 years, we will focus on education, roads, electricity, and health. In the last NDC administration, we constructed 2 secondary schools in the Wa East district, namely the Fancy Secondary School and the Logo Secondary School. Plans were far advanced, and indeed, the Dopare Secondary School was almost completed when we lost power. We will ensure that in the next 4 years, the Dopare Secondary School will be completed and will become operationalized. We've noticed that most of our roads in the constituency or the district are no more trouble. It is one of the things that is very critical to the NDC new administration. And from the 7th of January, when His Excellency John Dramani Mahama is sworn in, our road network is something we'll seriously look at, so that in the next 4 years, we'll have most of our roads more trouble to enable our farmers transport farm goods from their communities to the markets in Wa and other parts of the country.
Reporting for Joy News, Rafik Salam, Bullingi.
Watching Joy News today. We go for a break. We'll be back with business.
Welcome back to Business on Joy News today. My name is Winston Taki, and now to our first business story. Ghana is slowly retracing its steps back to a path of macroeconomic stability as the government's fiscal consolidation and debt restructuring activities are bearing fruit. That's according to Deloitte. The professional service firm revealed in its West Africa in Focus report that the country is estimated to grow by 4.9% in 2024, with further expansion of 5.1% in 2025. Here's a report on that.
The professional services firm said the improved economy will be on the back of the government's debt sustainability initiatives, a more stable local currency, and a deceleration in inflation. The deceleration in inflation, it's alluded, would trigger further interest rate cuts that began in 2024 and lead to lower borrowing costs. This should drive increased private consumption and investment spending, which will boost economic growth. Ghana's December 2024 election were relatively peaceful, with the outcome resulting in a change in government and party. Deloitte said President-elect Mahama will inherit an economic challenge by high inflation, currency weakness, and debt concerns. However, it pointed out that Mahama's economic policy will likely focus on, but not be limited to, fiscal discipline and strategic investment in infrastructure. Deloitte also enumerated some downside risk to Ghana's projected economic growth. These include commodity price volatility and adverse weather conditions, local exchange rate shocks, and volatility.
Moving on, Elegant Homes and General Construction, one of Ghana's leading real estate developers, has organized a Health and Family Fund Day for staff at the Elegant Court. More in this report. Elegant Homes and General Construction is one of Ghana's top real estate developers, known for high-quality residential and commercial properties. The real estate developer has over the years prioritized customer satisfaction, delivering excellence, offering innovative designs that improve both living and working environment and employee well-being through initiatives like Health and Family Fund Day, fostering a positive workplace culture and aiming for growth in the future. Speaking with Joy Business, Executive Director Dorothy Kwashi praised the event's positive impact on the staff and shared their ambitious goals for the upcoming year.
Today is a family health and fun day for Elegant Homes. We started this program last year where our families, our staff and their families are screened. Beginning of the year till today, it's been a very long journey, construction, busy here and there. So we are breaking off today, and as a company, we think it is good to take care of their health so that they can go home and come back fully prepared for next year's business. We also believe that good health promotes productivity. So that is why we have done this for them. They bring in their families as well. The children are entertained. We have intersports between the various departments, and it's all about health and fun today. We hope that next year will bring in good things for us, more business, more houses, more new designs, and then more sales as well. And we also look forward to seeing all our staff coming in whole, coming in very healthy, just as they live as this year.
The organizer of the medical team, Dr. Lovia Alote Babington, also shared insight into what the team aimed to achieve by the end of the Health and Family Fund Day.
Elegant Homes is a construction company, and they deal with a lot of male workers. And as part of their health screening, as part of their annual celebration, they organize a health screening for their staff. So this year we're doing health screening for them. We're checking their blood glucose, we're checking their blood pressure levels, and because it's a male-dominated job, we're also doing PSA for the men who are above 50. Elegant Homes really cares about the workers, and so we've brought here today a number of nurses, we've brought a number of doctors and pharmacists, and we're giving them free medication. Aside that, they also have games. They've been asked to bring their families, and they'll be celebrating, having a party after. So that's basically what we're here to do today.
That's all for New Business. For more news, visit myjoyonline.com for more business updates. We'll be back at 1 p.m. for Marketplace. Coming up next is sport.
Let's bring you sports now on Joy News today with me, Muftaro Nabila Abdullahi. Dutch international Jeremy Frimpong is in Ghana for the first time in his life, and he says that With his experience in the Netherlands, he's someone who's always had connection with Ghana. He says that he's in the country to ensure that the culture of being a Ghanaian is not missing in him.
Amazing to come to this welcoming atmosphere for the first time. Amazing, you know. This is my people, you know. So I'm so happy to see everybody, and I'm so happy to be in Ghana. So yes, I've always been connected to my Ghanaian roots. You know, both my parents are Ghanaian. You know, I eat Ghanaian food. You know, I speak the language, so I feel like I've always been connected. But obviously, being here obviously makes it extra special. I have to come to Ghana, you know. This is where I'm from, you know. My blood is Ghanaian blood, you know. So for sure, I had to come here one day, and this is the right time to come. Also, I have a project called Pathways, operated in Ghana here. Of course, you know, you have to bring back to the homeland, you know. So of course, I have projects here, and yes, it's going to be an amazing one. Yes, I think because of last season, it was great what we did for Leverkusen, you know. We created history for the first time in Leverkusen. And now, because we are champions, we want to keep the consistency. You know, we don't want to be known as a one team, one season wonder, and then next season we don't do. So we want the consistency. So yes.
The Global Sports Festival 2024 was also launched on Thursday, and my colleague Harun Mubarak was there and has details in this report.
It offers a mix of sports and entertainment. The festival aims to celebrate Ghana's football prowess and inspire the next generation of athletes.
It's not just a sport, it's a lifeline. It's hope for the young child kicking a ball on the dusty streets, dreaming of brighter days. It's resilience for the team that plays every game with heart, no matter the odds. It's unity for communities that come together, bridging divides to celebrate a shared love for the game. This tournament, the Global Football Festival, is more than just a competition. It's a stage for talent to shine, for friendships to be forged, and for dreams to come alive.
It will feature celebrated Ghanaian football stars, including former internationals who made their mark at both club and national team levels. It will also mark the beginning of Ghana's first ever football museum to bring fans closer to the sport.
Isaac Vossa was also agreed to give us something that represents Isaac Vossa. So when you come to the festival, you would get to see Isaac Vossa, his first game for the Black Stars. Remember, he played in Swedrod Blacks. So he is also a player who played in the Ghana football. We also have Cosmos Dauda, one of House of Folk's top scorers. He has also agreed to give us a gift. There's Eric Donko. He's one of the players in Ghana who have won the Ghana Premier League 3 times and also won the MTN FA Cup 2 as well. He has promised to give us medal. He actually asked us to choose the medals that we want.
Hey.
So he said he can give us the Ghana Premier League, the MTN FA Cup.
Then he should give us all of it.
Yes. Joseph Penso, who is one of the lead players because, you know, he is also a musician. He has released some songs. So Joseph Penso himself, he recently won a trophy in the MLS. Joseph Penso himself. MLS Cup. We are in Audu Saka, who won one of the Ghanaian players who have won actually the World Cup. We have a conversation. He has agreed to give us a gift.
The festival will host an 8-team football tournament designed to unearth talent. Musicians including R2Bs and La Russo will also perform at the event with plans well in place at the Accra Academy School Park on December 27.
Experience it. We're inviting a lot more people to come. Those that love music, those that love football, those that love sports, those that love the stories in and around and the buzzing and around sports history and all, to come in and have a very good sporting experience. I mean, obviously enhanced by music and entertainment. And so, I mean, we're just inviting them. We'll send the videos that we've put out just for them to see. If you're looking for very good quality events this particular holidays.
We at Football Impact Africa
we'll be having a series of engagements at the festival grounds. We'd want to talk about, football and life after football. A series of seminars will be held at the grounds on the day of the festival. There will be engagement with stakeholders. We will also engage ex-footballers who embrace the occasion and also have understanding with how they are living their life after football.
The day will be packed with various activities, including fun challenges, influencer interactions, and community games.
We have got more sports stories on myjoyonline.com. We appreciate your time.
Let's wrap the bulletin with some entertainment news. Now, Accra came alive as the Beam Fest took center stage at the La Palm Royal Beach Hotel, bringing the city to a standstill. It was a night of unforgettable music experiences, leaving patrons craving for more. Headlined by Stonebwoy and featuring electrifying performances from Davido and other talented artists, the event treated attendees to a truly special evening of music, energy, and celebration. Nicholas Ekoyama has more in this report.
Thousands of music lovers gathered for Stonebwoy's Beam Fest, which delivered an unforgettable musical experience. From the stage design to the overall setup, it was clear patrons were in for an extraordinary night of entertainment. The atmosphere was electric as attendees enjoyed electrifying performances from stars like Ifia, Episode, Rocky Dawuni, Prioritetia, Reggie Rockstone, Familiar, and many others. These artists shared unforgettable moments on stage and praised Stonebwoy for his contributions to the music industry.
My highlight for the night will definitely be that me performing with my brother, and I'm just happy that at least, I've also gotten to a level where my brother can actually share stage with me, you get me?
It's exciting to be here to support my brother, and he's just doing incredible work, so we are all very proud of whatever, his achievements.
It's always been nice, supporting Beam Nation, supporting Stonebwoy.
Stonebwoy always does it for me, so I came here to support him as well, and support the people that got my back.
It's a beautiful platform. I'm proud of Stonebwoy. Always inspired by Stonebwoy.
Performing the Stonebwoy too, at this time at the beach, at this moment, it's crazy.
The highlight of the night came when the man of the moment, Stonebwoy, took to the stage. His show-stopping performance kept the crowd on their feet throughout. As if that wasn't enough, Nigerian superstar Davido made a surprise appearance, bringing his signature high-energy vibe, turning the night into a true celebration of music.
Hey, I'm happy to be here to support my brother Stonebwoy. You know what I'm saying? We're here to have a good time. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, we're here to have fun, support my brother. But yeah, I can't wait. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Beam!
Adding to the excitement, dancehall queen Spice joined Stonebwoy on stage to perform Jiggle and Wine together for the first time. Stonebwoy, speaking to Joy News, said expectations have been met.
Because everything we publicized was what we brought to the people. And I think we gave it to the people just the way they love it. I came on, I did my 3 sets, it was just interactive and very engaging. I think expectations have been met.
Beam Fest was undoubtedly a night to remember, celebrating the very best of African music and artistry. Reporting for Joy News, Nicholas Eko Yamwa.
I am biasedly a BIM native. That'll be all for joining you today with me, MFA Akosia Aditi. But for more news, do log on to myjoyonline.com. And today you'll find the top story. CHASS advises against reopening school on January 3 until financial arrears are cleared. You'll also find that Jean Mensah must step down as EC chair. This coming from APC and Movement for Change. Thank you for watching.